Welcome back again, and in this lecture we will discuss the conditional terms of verbs, transitive and transitive verbs, participles, and a few other verbs we may not have covered. A transitive verb is a verb that has a direct object. In other words, it does something to the direct object or the object. Like he read a book. He is the subject. Book is the object, while read is the verb. So what he did to the book was to read it. The book is the direct object, the subject is he. With a transitive verb, you cannot have a direct object, so the subject does something. He snores, he runs, or he sleeps. The subject is actually doing something and not to something or an object. Remember, when you find a direct object of a transitive verb, you must find the verb and then ask what or whom is the action being done. It doesn't seem possible or nonsensical. Then you're probably dealing with it in transitive verb. Conditionals are parts of speech or sayings that say that you will do something only when something else has done. There are 3 conditionals. I studied or taught English for 5 or 6 years before I even realized there was a second and third conditional. The one that I really knew about was the third conditional, the subjunctive mood. First conditionals, you are talking about something that is possible. An example would be, if he's late, we'll go without him. Meaning you will still go, but not with that person. Another example will be, if my mother knows about this. We are in serious trouble. The condition is if my mother knows about this, the result of it is going to be you're in serious trouble. The second conditional is an unreal or improbable situation. You're talking now about something, while pretending it's in the past tense. But you are talking about as if it's in the present tense. An example would be, if I knew her name, I would tell her. What you are saying is that if you went into the past and you found out what her name was, you would tell the person what the name is, but you cannot do that. The second conditional, the subjunctive mood, is if I were you, I would tell my father. You're giving advice, saying that if you were in the place to the person you are talking to, which is impossible, you would tell the father. And the third conditional is an unreal situation that was not so in the past. If you warned me, I would not have told your father about that party, but you didn't and I squealed. So it's something that happened in the past, which you cannot change, but, in this case, you're telling the other person that they should have told you. In this situation, the situation was that I told somebody about something, but didn't know I was to keep my mouth quiet, and the other person didn't tell me not to tell them. A participle can be a verb form adjective or noun, and present participles are formed by adding the ing or the gerund ending to the verb. While past participles are formed by the ed to regular verbs, a present participle implies the continuance of an action. She is reading the book. While a past participle implies the completion of an action, I have loved. Participles can also be adjectives when placed before nouns. He is a reading man. A finite verb is a verb that is in the past or the present form. Verbs in any other form with an ing or ed are called the non-finite verb. This means the verbs with the tense are finite and verbs without tense are non-finite. The distinction between the two are very important in grammar since it affects how the verb behave in sentences. David plays the piano. It's a present tense and it's finite. My sister spoke French on holiday. His past tense is finite. But it took courage to continue after the accident. There's none. So the verb has an infinite form. So it's a non-finite verb. Phrasal verbs are idiomatic in elements where you can put 3 or 4 different words together. And usually they're coined this way. So some are separable, some are inseparable. When you break it down, it actually means something completely different. It consists of a verb, an adverb, or a preposition and can have many different meanings depending on the situation. For example, the phrase take out, which is separable. He's going to take out the trash, remove the trash. He's going to take her out, take someone on a date. He's going to order take-out food to bring home. He's going to take a book from the library, borrow book, take out a loan, borrow money. I'm going to take out an insurance policy, obtain an insurance policy. And I'm going to take out the mole or whack a mole. Many verbs come in different forms and they're based upon the be verbs. Am, is, and are in the present, past and future. Many students have difficulties with these because of their native language. And so what you can do is you give many handouts and as much practice as possible and explain to the students the way it's formed. And what you can do is you can show them the form so they can understand the word or for example, That girl really likes them. You got an article, a subject, adverb, a verb, an object. Let the students know that not all sentences come in the past, present or future densities. This happens a lot with conditionals, where a lot of students were very mad at me because I could not show the present perfect continuous in the third condition. Try to let them understand that this is the case. If they still cannot understand, get a native speaker to come in and explain to them in the native language. It will help them understand a lot more. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next time.